Hello, I'm sitting in my garden again, a few weeks on from the last film, and I noticed a few people were talking about some of their favourite books, so I've had a good dig through my library and picked out 5 books which have been really quite inspirational to me over the years. And the first one is a book by Robert Hart called Forest Gardening. I love this book. I suppose I'm quite sentimental about it because Robert Hart is really, in my opinion, the granddaddy of forest gardening in the UK, and I went to see him when I was at Horticultural College. I went to Askham Bryan for a report I had to do, and he was in his 80s there, and he showed me how in his own garden he undertook all those principles of agroforestry and permaculture. I think it's still available. I think you can still get this, certainly second hand. So that's Forest Gardening by Robert Hart. Another book that I love because I like a good rip-roaring tale about plant hunters in particular is Seeds of Fortune by Sue Shepherd. Seeds of Fortune is all about the history of the Veitch family, probably the most famous nursery family in Britain that sent plant hunters all over the world and introduced plants like Berberis wilsonii and lots of other plants, particularly orchids and even sanguisorba, but the actual sanguisorba, it escapes me at the moment. Anyway, really good book, Seeds of Fortune by Sue Shepherd, and I know you can still get that online. Another not so old book is New Nordic Gardens, which came out a couple of years ago, and it's by a great friend of mine, Annika Zetterman. And Annika's done a film for us from Stockholm. It is a superb book, and all I can say is at some point in every course we're running at LCGD, a student turns up into class with it and shows everybody else, and everyone else goes and buys it. So it's a fab book, really inspirational, all about sort of those Scandi Nordic gardens, lots and lots of good design detail that really gets you going, really. So that's great. New Nordic Gardens by Annika Zetterman. A book that I've only come to recently, but it's been out for I think about 10 years, is by Patricia Farah, and it's called Sex, Botany and Empire. It goes back to that idea I've got that I love all the plant hunters and everything that happens particularly in the sort of 18th and 19th century. And this is a story about Carl Linnaeus and Joseph Banks, and if you don't know about those two people, you should know about those two people. It's the 200th anniversary of the death of Joseph Banks this year, and of course he was not so well known in this country for quite a while, actually, although he's very significant if you think about things like Bankses in Australia that were named after him. It's a really quick book to read, it's a fab bit of history, and it's a really good starting place if you don't know your horticultural history. So that's Patricia Farah, Sex, Botany and Empire. And then the other one I actually selected for today was by Dirk Bogarde, Voices in the Garden. It's actually a novel. I loved it when it first came out in 1981. Dirk would have been 99 years old last week if he was still around. Fabulous author, obviously a great actor as well. And if you just want to sort of get the feel of a Mediterranean garden, Dirk Bogarde, Voices in the Garden, can't recommend it highly enough. I will come back to you with another 5 much probably more practical books later on. Thank you.